Alright, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just check this. Apparently, I can't check this right now. Oh well. Magic here. I'm going to be doing some more casting for you tonight. Uh, right at 5, or actually at 6 o'clock Eastern Time. For me, it's 5 o'clock because I'm Central. But we are going to do some casting tonight before the analysis, which starts at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time, or Eastern, actually, it's the Daylight Savings Time right now. But let's jump into these first games here. We have Bio Ice spawned as our red Zerg player at the bottom, or actually it's at the top right. Also the red guy is how we also know him as. And then we have NrGFuzzy spawned at the bottom left hand side. So it is cross positions here. He is blue, so it is Zerg against Zerg, blue against red. Let's put up that nice fancy overlay. Hopefully sooner or later I'll get another nice widescreen monitor so you don't have to look at this square box of this 5x4 screen. But let's see, what is Fuzzy going to be doing with that drone? He's going to be scouting with it. He's going to be checking that fast ground position, I believe. Nope. No, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it looks like he's going to. Alright, we're good on that. Looks like the Overlord didn't see the Overlord up here, you know, if he's fast air position, and since he is Zerg, you typically would see that Overlord right there, so he decided, okay, I'm just going to move start heading that Overlord over to that cross position. And it looks like this drone's not even going to go to the close air position, or close ground position. Rightfully so, of course, since there is no spawn there any longer. Blizzard decided to take that out because it sucks for Zerg when it's Zerg against Terran. It just totally sucks, and it might even be in balance for Zerg against Protoss. You know, it's just really hard for Protoss to expand then because there's just a really nice timing attack for Zerg. So let's see what these players decide to do. It looks like Bio Ice going for a fast extractor into a pool. So he's going to be going for that fast Zergling speed. Meanwhile, Fuzzy looking like he's going to be expanding, just getting up that 200. Going to be 300 in just a moment here. Going to be plopping down that expansion and sitting pretty tight with that. I really wish I could check. I don't know why XSplit is freaking out. Apparently, I'm not even sure. Actually, I'm going to pause. Or actually, yeah, there it goes. Okay, so we are rolling. Alright, so I just wanted to check that. I couldn't until now. I'm really glad I can now, but looks like Fuzzy's going to be taking a gas before that pool, so we'll see when he puts on that pool. Getting a pretty late pool, that's totally fine by me. You know, he's going to get that fast circling speed after that hatchery. Going to get a little bit later than Bio Ice and just be able to defend with it and then be aggressive with it. And, well, with that extra hatchery, he's going to be able to get up a lot of extra Zerglings with that. So maybe lay down a lot of pressure, we'll find out. Or if he transitions into roaches or anything like that and gets up a ton of drones. So no hatchery yet from Bio Ice, just going to be chilling back, getting up some drones of his own. And 6 Zerglings, 3 sets of Zerglings going to be coming out and heading straight towards Energy's base here. So Fuzzy, let's see how he deals with this early pressure. I'm sure he knows about these Zerglings. He sees them with that Overlord. Where's that second set? Okay, apparently it was built a little bit later. When they're coming out now anyways. That drone did manage to escape. It's a very good play there. You want to have your drone live if at all possible. You don't want him to die. That's 50 minerals down the drain. And, well, you know, that one extra larva, that one extra set of 50 minerals can be a big difference. So I'm really glad that he got that out. He's just plopping down a spine crawler with that. So he's not going to be wasting another drone to build that. 4 Zerglings out now for Fuzzy. Going to be defending this alright with that. Another 2 joining up as the other 2 from Bio Ice join up. And Bio Ice is forced to retreat. But he is going to be getting that Zergling speed done a lot sooner. And, well, it looks like Fuzzy spends his first set of gas on these Banelings. Even just keeping 2 guys in the extractor, so he's not even going to go for the Zergling speed. To me, that might be a blunder, but at the same time, he's going to be able to defend against these Banelings with his Banelings. And, well, we'll see how this goes and plays out. Because, well, if you know, Zerglings die pretty darn fast to Banelings. And there goes a couple of Zerglings there. Another set of Banelings explode there. And there's still 3 left. Another one dies, that leaving 2. Now, okay, 1's left. He dies from that queen. So very well played there from Fuzzy. Just getting up some good Banelings for that defense. That Spinecrawl's going to go down. He was the same one as the one that was built at the main. Going to be dying there. Same with that queen. And, well, not after getting the spew off. So he did get that off. Going to be Well, actually, he has no queens at all. I'm kind of wondering about this. He kind of needs a queen right now. He does have a little bit of gas saved up. That's kind of a blunder in my eyes, but we'll see how he spends that if he gets more banelings. So yeah, he's going to get a couple more banelings and just chill back with a bunch of Zerglings here. He really needs to take out this baneling. And actually, there's 3 more banelings on the way. Going to be exploding all over the place here in just a moment. Looks like they're going straight for the mineral line. I don't know if Fuzzy is going to be able to defend this properly or not. A couple explode there, a couple drones die, and there goes a couple more drones and some Zerglings. And, well, that one just died, killing off that last drone here. So only 8 drones left from Fuzzy here. That's going to be a big issue here. Another set of banelings explode all over BioIce's Zerglings here, and I don't think Fuzzy is going to be able to recuperate after this one. He doesn't have the Zergling speed. He's not going to be able to threaten anything without that Zergling speed, since BioIce does have his speed. You know, he's going to be able to do a lot of damage that way. So Fuzzy's given the GG, and, well, you kind of need that Zergling speed. I don't know, it was kind of interesting to see that he got that Baneling Nest before the speed, and then just didn't get the speed, just wanted to defend with them. And that's fine. You know, it just means that your opponent doesn't have to leave anything at all at his base. He can just send all of his Zerglings to your base and keep up the pressure, whereas you have 0 map control, you have 0, you can't scout. I mean, you can scout, I guess, with your Overlords and whatnot. You can see a little bit of the map with the Overlords around, but, you know, there really isn't much you can do without that speed. You can't even run from Banelings all that well. So, anyways, let's get into the next game here. Let's see, next game going to be Devour, yes, alright. We are casting some more Fuzzy today. I was not able to get any other replays. These are actually a little bit old replays from when the patch first came out, which is 1.4.1. It's not even on 2 yet. You know, these are all right after the first patch when a bunch of things got nerfed. So, you know, I don't think Protoss, I don't think they have that extra boost with upgrades. So there's that. But we are seeing another Zerg against Zerg here, so we're not even going to look at that extra boost from Protoss. Just going to be doing another ZVZ on Metalopolis. Cross positions, it looks like Fuzzy has spawned at the top, or actually at the bottom. I've been screwing that up a lot already. Let's just, nope. Wow, I screwed that up. Well, not much happened in that first couple of seconds there, but I did have the overlay up. I'm going to continually checking it today. I did screw up once last week, and hopefully I won't screw up any longer today. I mean, that's kind of like my main thing right now, like just having that overlay up. I can't believe I keep forgetting it. But anyways, Fuzzy has spawned at the bottom left-hand side as the blue Zerg, and well, we do have Devour spawning at the top right. So it is kind of pretty much the same positions here on the same map. We'll see what Fuzzy decides to do differently this time, since the first time didn't work out, and we'll see what Devour does if he decides to do the same kind of thing that BioIce did. I don't think so, since it is a different player. You know, I'm sure he has his own style, and well, we'll see if he goes for those banelings or not. There is an extractor going up, and then the pool, so it looks like pretty much the same thing from him. Fuzzy's going to be going for that expansion once again at his natural, and well, we'll see if he gets that gas first and then the pool, or if just the pool, or what. Personally, I like to see the pool before the gas, but I mean, if you're just going to be cranking out some Zerglings, then oh well, you know. I mean, if you're just going to be cranking out drones during that time anyways, then it doesn't really matter. But of course, getting that pool a little bit sooner allows you to get a faster queen, which allows you to use your minerals a lot faster and just get up a couple of extra drones. So I do like to see it a little bit beforehand, but at the same time, that delays the speed, and then you can't be aggressive at all, and that gives your opponent pretty much free reign over the map, free reign to be aggressive however he wants to be. And, you know, he's just going to be able to get up a lot of drones if he wants to do that instead. So, let's see what Fuzzy does differently here. He does have that pool going up. So pool, after that's extractor. And while the pool already finished, and the speed is already on the way from Devour here. So, we'll see. Okay, what is this? This is a Baneling Nest, so Devour is going to be doing pretty much the same kind of pressure that BioIce did last game. So we'll see how it goes for him. Does look like he only got 2 sets of Zerglings. Now he's getting 2 more, actually 3 more. So he's actually going to be continuing to lay down a lot of pressure in this early game here. But he did maybe sneak out 1 extra drone during all that. Not really sure, but it could have happened. Or maybe his Zergling's just a little bit later. I'm not really sure on that. But, well, now he's just going to be scouting. He checked the close ground position here. I'm not sure if he just doesn't know that it's there. I mean, doesn't know that it's not there or what. But he's going to be continuing on. Looks like he's going to be going to morph some banelings. Alright, cool. So, Fuzzy here sitting back with 6 Zerglings. Just going to be defending with those. No speed on the way yet. Baneling Nest, Spinecrawler going up. So he's pretty much playing it the same way. Probably just going to say, okay, I just missed macroed. I lost so many guys because of those Banelings. So let's not have that happen again. Actually, I'm not even sure if this game is first or second in what he played, but we'll see how it goes. Ah, that's going to be... okay, that's kind of weird. A couple of Zerglings in the front, just kind of on hold position there. And, alright, well, one of those Banelings from Fuzzy did die there with that explosion, but Devour has been pretty much thwarted here. He's going to have to wait for some more Zerglings. Here they are. And, well, there's a couple more Banelings being morphed in here. But he's going to go right in there for it. Going to be going and killing off that Queen. Couple of Banelings going... Ooh, that sucks. Just all those Zerglings dying right there. A couple more Banelings coming in here from Devour. And a couple of his own. And, well... I don't know if Devour hit the X button to make them explode manually or what. But they did explode right there. Not killing all that much. So we'll see what Fuzzy gonna do. He doesn't have a queen out yet. He still doesn't have a queen, and that's pretty surprising to me that he's able to spend all his money. I mean, I guess if you're just making so many Banelings, that's kind of possible. And yeah, this is what sucks about not having Zergling speed. His Zerglings can go after your Banelings, and you can't really go after those Zerglings all that well. Your Banelings just kind of explode, so you gotta be really careful. Oh, pretty much everything just died there, and Devour does have a couple more Banelings back there. Fuzzy sitting back with 1 as well. Both players on 14 drones here, so Fuzzy, we'll see if he actually must have moved that Spinecrawler down. It's not there. I don't see it at all, actually. So, I don't know. We'll see what he does. Oh, no, that sucks. You don't want to lose your Zerg or your Baneling for nothing like that. You want to kill as many Zerglings as you can with 1 Baneling. That's how your Baneling becomes a hero Baneling. And, well, 1 explodes on those 2 Zerglings there, but we'll see when these get done morphing and go out to defend this, because the hatchery is under attack here. And, well, a couple get killed off there. Did eliminate all those Banelings, and we'll see. He's able to kill. Ooh, okay, a couple. Got 4 Zerglings there. That's pretty good. Pretty good. You want to be careful not to lose your Baneling. You don't want it. Yeah, you don't want it to die. All right, cool. Apparently he's just gonna explode on that guy, anyways. And then he's still getting. Yeah, okay. This is the trouble with Zerg right now. Zerg against Zerg. It's just all this Baneling and stuff exploding everywhere. And well, we'll see if this Baneling is able to get any kills at all or what. Apparently, yeah, he's gonna be able to survive for now. Oh man, that sucks, exploding on that one guy. This is such a tricky thing right here. It looks like Fuzzy just slowly getting behind. It looks like neither player has grown up at all, just Zerglings and Banelings this entire time. Now, I'm glad Fuzzy got the speed, he was able to survive long enough to use it. And, well, there goes another Zerglings exploding there. This hatch is getting kind of low here also. I mean, you gotta be really careful with these Banelings. It looks like Devour's doing somewhat of a better job here, just making sure that his Banelings get more bang for their buck. And 1 Baneling still alive from Devour going straight into the main here, going to be exploding on a couple of drones here. 4 drones to be exact. He does need some more Zerglings up there to finish him off, seal the deal, and or another Baneling, I suppose. He does have 3 more morphing in here at the front. And, well, the hatchery does go down, so Fuzzy here sitting not so comfortably. I mean, you get that extra hatchery up, you use the extra larva to crank out some extra guys, but the thing is, there has not been a big opportunity for that. He doesn't have enough drones to really support that many larvae. I mean, to get another queen, I mean, it's really the queen. I mean, since Devour does have that queen, and Fuzzy now forced to get a queen. Oh, a couple more drones being killed off there from Fuzzy as well, so Fuzzy not doing so good with this strategy right now, just kind of losing it. And we'll see if he's able to, well, at this point I don't think he's going to be mustering a win out of this. Just too many Zerglings, too many dead drones, and, well, just too much pressure from Devour. After looking at this, 2 games like this in a row, I do have to say that it looks like, not going hatch first is better if you're doing that kind of play with Banelings. I personally don't like Banelings. I like to get a couple of Spinecrawlers, and target fire the bandings that are coming into my base while cranking out some extra Zerglings, you know, and just using good micro. But I mean, I'm not as skilled as these guys are, so I mean, I really understand, you know, if they're doing it for, you know, there's probably a good reason why they're doing it like that. So let's get into the last game here. Actually, I might do a couple more after this. Yeah, just because they are pretty short. Yeah, let's jump into this next one here. See, overlay is up, which is good. Which just means I gotta remember to remove it. I gotta remember. Alright, let's remove that. Okay, so let me just check. Yes, it is removed. Alright, so Fuzzy has spawned at the bottom right here as our red Zerg player. And it's not going to be another Zerg against Zerg. It's going to be a Zerg against Terran. We have NrGFuzzy spawned as our blue Terran player at the top left-hand side here. So, this Zerg against Terran and cross positions on Antigua Shipyard, which is a pretty awesome map. I do like this map quite a bit. It's just like, it's nice to get, like, the natural is somewhat easy to defend, but somewhat hard at the same time. It's not like Shakur's Plateau where it's just like a free expansion and like you have this tiny ramp right at the edge of that expansion where you just throw up some good defenses. If you want to throw up some defenses, you have to do it out here. And, well, then you got your third, which is pretty easy to take as well. You do have some rocks with an extra opening down here, so you got to worry about that. And that's fancy business. BZ here going for the supply depot at the bottom of that ramp, and possibly a barracks right next to it. Going to be doing a good wall with that. I do like this wall better than the wall at the top of the ramp, just because that wall at the top of the ramp shows a little bit too much. I feel like, you know, like you see all this space up here, and like if you have any buildings up there at all, Zerg's going to know about it, be able to count it, say, okay, you have these buildings, these are what units you're going to have, so I can counter it appropriately. With the wall at the bottom, you can't really do that, so I'm really glad that that actually is that way. So he is plopping down that barracks. SV is on the scout, going to be looking around, checking that bottom expansion. Looks like the Overlord finding that there is no Terran player at the top here, going to be maneuvering around, and well, this drone from Fuzzy going to be running right into that SV from BZ, and well, apparently he's not going to turn around, just going to be going up there anyway. I don't know, it's really kind of tricky to say, okay, my opponent scouted at this time, so his worker must be there at this time. If he's, you know, if he's in this position at the time that I saw him, then he's probably not in that position. He's probably up here. But the thing is, he could have scouted later. He could have scouted sooner or later or whatever, so it's really kind of hard to say. So you want to make sure and just go up there and say, alright, he's definitely not there, and just go on to the next position here. But we do have a pool coming out here. We do have that hatchery first. Hatchery first, then extractor, then pool. So with that in mind, he's going to be getting up some Zergling speed, defending with that, probably adding on a lot of drones in the meantime with that, and just having good map control with those Zerglings, and then pulling back. We'll see though, because there's going to be Hellions on the way. We do have a factory on routes with a reactor coming out of that barracks, so we're going to see at least 2 Hellions, maybe some Blue Flame Hellions, maybe a whole lot of Hellions. We'll find out. BZ, of course, could throw down an expansion after those 2 Hellions are in production, and then well, after that you can add on more Hellions, or you can go for Banshees, go for some, or just go straight up, start pushing with tanks and Marines and stuff like that. We'll see what he decides to do, but there is a command center going down, since he does have a little bit of extra money. He actually pulled guys out of gas, which I do like to see. I think Terrans don't really look at that enough. You know, some players will say, oh, I got gas, I'm just going to leave my guys in there, it's fine. You know, Zerg players don't do that, because they're like, okay, I got the speed, now I'm just going to be getting a ton of gas if I don't like actually use, if I don't actually get a layer. So I mean, it's good to pull guys out of gas. It really is, no matter what race you are. So I'm glad I'm seeing that. Just taking the initiative and saying, okay, I don't really need gas right now, let's just take him out, you know. So that's gonna, you know, he was able to get up some more Hellions faster, able to get up this expansion sooner, and I do like that. Now he's put him back in the gas, and we'll see what he does with that. He's getting a tech lab so far off that barracks, but here comes the Hellions. The SV just retreating back to that watchtower, and well, a couple of spines are going up for Fuzzy. I don't know if they're going to be up in time. The Hellions are pretty much right there. Actually, the spine crawl going up exactly when it needs to. Actually, a second too late, and it looks like these drones will be pulled off to try to block these Hellions while the Queen deals some good damage back to it. Alright, so they are getting picked off here. Very well played here from Fuzzy. Just picking off those Hellions, not pretty much losing no drones. Let's look at that unit count attack. Yeah, no workers killed whatsoever. Actually, he did kill 2 of them off at some point in time, but considering that these spines were late, that actually worked out really darn well. I wish I had that kind of micro. I'm a little bit sick. I hope you guys understand I'm actually doing a lot today, considering I'm sick, so I do have my analysis later. Hopefully I'll still be perfectly good for that. We'll see how my voice is. I don't know if it's going to get really kind of weird or not. So it's already getting a little bit tired, but I will have a short break between the analysis, so we should be good to go. Anyways, a couple of Hellions still out here going to be containing the Zerg. You don't really want to run in there and try to kill as many drones as possible. That's really kind of really bad play. You want to have them contain, have them maintain map control, and that'll allow you to just do a lot until those mutas come out, if he decides to go mutas or not. Looks like the Hellions doing a little bit of poking here. Can be just attacking that Queen and the Extractor. Don't want to get too close to these Spine Crawls. You don't want to take extra damage without who's going to take a poke there. Not a big deal. You know, just try and do what you can. Take one hit, no big deal. Just don't lose any Hellions. So you want to keep them at the front there. And, well, it looks like he is going to be transitioning into some tanks. He does have a starport here. I wonder if he's going to be doing some kind of drop with that. Looks like a Viking coming out to do some Overlord hunting. And, well, there's a tank out as well as getting up that siege and all that good stuff. So, there is also a Spider on the way from Fuzzy. And we'll see how he uses those. We'll see if there's any turrets up in time. It looks like there is an engineering bay going up. So, Terrans have gotten pretty darn good with that timing. They know exactly when the mutas are going to get there. And, I mean, if you gun for mutas too soon as Zerg, I mean, you're just not going to have that many mutas. You're not going to have that many drones. And you're going to suffer for it. So, I mean, if you got it a little bit late because the mutas were early, it's okay. Because, I mean, your Zerg opponent's going to be behind either way. You know, as long as you get those missile turrets up and don't suffer huge amounts of damage. So, very good timing on that missile turret. Looks like the Spire is just going to be finishing up here in just a moment. And, well, those 4 Hellions still maintaining the frontier, making sure Zerg does not get out of his base. And, well, Baneling Nest coming online as well. So we'll see when Breezy, or Beezy I should say, decides to expand. Throw down that command center and lift it over here. Because the third is kind of easy to maintain as long as you have some tanks out here. You know, it is a good map for tanks. It's also a good map for infantry. So, I mean, there's really a lot you can do on this map. But we'll see when he takes that. And then, of course, the 4th base on this map is actually quite hard to take. Unless you're Zerg, it's really kind of nice as Zerg. But as Terran or as Protoss, it's quite hard to take a 4th base. Alright, so Overseer there, Overlord up there. Muta's coming out. And, well, this Viking's going to be in a lot of trouble as well as soon as he decides to leave his base with those mutas. Get some good water while we have a little bit of time here. Overseer was picked off there. Tank's in a pretty good position here to defend the natural. I believe he's just going to be waiting for a couple more tanks here and then be setting up a contain, or not a contain, but, you know, like a nice tank line here. Because then you can safely take your 3rd expansion. So Muta's roaming around now, picking off SCVs. Forced the dudes to run away. Actually, it looks like they were picked off. Yeah, that sucks to lose all your dudes there. There is a changeling among these Marines, so he does see the Terran base, knows what's going on up there, sees the 2nd barracks going up. Actually, it's the 4th barracks, but, you know, all that good stuff. Another barracks going up in the back there, by the way. So he's going to be adding on a lot of Marines, which is very typical in this matchup. You see a lot of Marines and a handful of tanks and whatnot. And it's really up to the player to decide, okay, when do I want those gases so I get more tanks or less tanks, or, you know, it really depends on all that good stuff. Because if you just go a lot of Marines, they're going to have a lot of gas saved up. You need like a 2nd barracks or a 2nd factory at some time. Wow, can't talk. Unless you're going for some medevacs, of course, then medevacs can spend that gas that way. But otherwise, you know, you might have a lot of minerals if you don't have a lot of barracks. So, I mean, it's really a hard balance to strike. I see a lot of players struggling with that. And, well, it looks like NrGFuzzy here doing a good job of breaking down the rocks before Terran even decides to expand up there. With that in mind, you know, like if Terran decided to put some tanks up here, that would be really hard to bust this debris down then. So I mean, I'm glad he's going for it before that expansion goes up. Meanwhile, the mutas are just kind of chilling back here. I'm pretty sure they checked the Terran base, saw this turret, said, hey, you know what, I'm not going to attack there, I'm just going to run away. Feel good. Meanwhile, Zerg is taking a third base in the natural third. Let's see if he puts down a fourth or what. His money's pretty darn high, you know, this is pretty darn late for a third base, but I mean, he did get up the mutas at a very good time. And he really could put down a macro hatch right now, but we'll see what he decides to do. Meanwhile, mutas trying to get in there, do some kind of damage. They did take out the missile turret, a couple more being erected in its place. The Marines are sitting on +1 attack mutas, I don't believe on anything yet. Yeah, or actually, yeah, they do have a +1 already, wow. But there are the Marines here to make sure these mutas don't do too much damage. So, being pretty fast, quick on the draw, Mr. Breezy. Beezy, I keep saying Breezy, but it's Beezy. And, well, Fuzzy here, finally getting a couple of Evolution Chambers, going to be getting some upgrades of his own. There's that macro hatch going down. It's a little bit too late, you know, I feel like it could have been a lot sooner, considering how much money he actually had. But we'll see if he's able to continue to do some good damage to these mutas. He's doing a good job just sort of flocking around, checking things out, killing off whatever he can. Wow, that's actually a lot of mutas. That is a huge number of mutas. You gotta be really careful. Like, these Marines could die to those mutas. It would be a good exchange for Zerg, but I'm just saying, he has the potential to kill off all these Marines and then all these tanks. So, you gotta be really careful. Pick off the tanks whenever you can. Forcing the stim. You don't want to be doing that as Terran. Of course, you feel like you kind of have to. In a lot of ways you do, but want to be careful not to stim too often. Zerg's getting a little bit greedy. Actually, he's going in there with his Zerglings. I was going to say, he's getting a little bit greedy trying to pick off those tanks. Okay, well, it looks like Zerg's going to be backing out for now. Attacking this command center, and there aren't a lot of Marines out here from, yeah, BZ. Well, now they have medevacs, so I mean, that's kind of difficult to attack as well. Medevacs, of course, healing so darn fast. But what I was going to say was, what was I going to say? Oh, he was, you know, he forced a stim on the Marines, and then he just kept trying to pick off things left and right while they're still stimmed. I'd say just wait a little bit, be patient, try not to pick off too much, and then they can unstim and force another stim. You know, like it's, it looks like a Thor has joined the brigades here, and, well, these Marines be doing what they can. Looks like the command center is gonna maybe go down here. It's on fire. Gonna take some good damage, and there it goes. It goes down, and the mutas are gonna be flocking away. But there's still a lot of actually, there's a lot of mutas that are pretty much almost dead. A couple of them were picked off there at the last moments, and well, Beezy here, he's got to be feeling pretty bad about that. He's got to, you know, he didn't get his SCV out there to repair it in time, and now he's gonna have to rebuild a whole nother command center. How long does that take? A long freaking time. To be exact, let's check it out. Yeah, 100 time, 100 game seconds, which is actually a little bit faster than actual seconds. So it's probably about a minute. It takes like a minute to build a command center. Doesn't sound like a long time, but in StarCraft terms, that is a long freaking time. That's like an hour. Like, you know, like I'd compare it to an hour of real time. That's a big deal. Anyways, here comes some bandits exploding out those Marines. The push is commencing, and there is no anti-air here any longer for these mutas. You know, where's that Thor? Of course, Magic Box quickly takes that out, and well, more Marines coming in from reinforcing, or to reinforce them. And well, even one banding it. Banding. Okay, the banding seems to be one Marine instead of one. But looks like the mutas and these Zerglings are going to clean out pretty good. And BZ forced to give the GG here. You know, I mean, he got the expansion taken out. I mean, he was just so far behind with that expansion. It was delayed a little bit, and then it was delayed again, and now it's destroyed. Now he has to rebuild it, and it's like, oh man. So at that point, it's kind of like, okay, I just lost. Zerg, of course, has a third base, getting up a fourth base, and there really isn't much BZ could have done to counter that. So we're actually going to be doing one more game here. Yeah, one more game. My voice is getting a little bit tired, so I don't want to do too many games here before my analysis. But let's jump into this. Is my overlay up? Good. Gotta make sure it's gone later on. No, I'm not. There's like a couple of these games in my list here today. I already casted, so I don't want to cast those again. pretty sure, well, I'm not even sure if that one's safe, so let's actually just look into another folder. Huh. Do, 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 do. You know, let's just do that one game. I'm pretty sure I didn't cast it, so I'm just gonna go over it. Yeah. I was shopping yesterday. I totally forgot to get some honey. My throat could really use some honey right now. But whatever. Water's gonna have to suffice. Been drinking lots of soup and onions and things for my sickness. That is like the proper way to get over a sickness. Like, just eat lots of onions, lots of garlic and ginger and spices, and it'll just clear out your cavities, your sinuses. So there is all that. Yeah, I'm really not sure if I casted this once before or not, but whatever. We're just gonna roll with it because it's a good game. Actually, I don't know if it's a good game or not, but we'll find out. So I have not actually seen this before, assuming that I have not casted it before. But we'll see what happens. We do have Fuzzy, who has spawned at the bottom right as our Zerg player, also known as the red guy. And at the top left, we do have the blue guy, also known as Easy Attack Move. I have casted him at least once before on a different map. You know, I already know that there is another map that I have for sure casted of him. I'm not sure if I casted this second one of him, though. But we'll see what happens. He does have the pylon at the wall, at the front of the ramp here. So there is not going to be a fast expand, at least not a, you know, forge expand. We do have gateway going down, and we'll see if he uses that to put down an assimilator, or if he's going to be doing a 2 gateway pressure, which I absolutely hate. I don't know how to properly deal with 2 gate pressure, to be perfectly honest. Like, if I go, like, I'm used to going pool first now. I guess I'm used to more or less going hatch first against Protoss, just like always getting it up somehow. Like, my opponent just like doesn't check for it properly or what. But then I get my pool, and then, you know, I've never dealt 2 gate that way, but I'm sure I'll just die that way. So I'm used to getting the pool a little bit more often now, and if you get a pool, then it's like, okay, then, you know, if you have some dudes out here already, then I'm probably gonna just die. So I don't know. It's kind of tricky because you can't really expand because those zealots are out there, you know. And then he runs away with them, and then it's like, okay, I can expand. And then he comes back with like more, and it's like, what do I do? But well, we'll see. He looks like Fuzzy is going for that queen. Let's make sure my overlay is removed. It is removed. Yes. All right, we're not going to deal with that any longer. Hopefully today during my analysis I'll get that right some more. Meanwhile, it looks like easy attack move, just going to be adding on that cyber and all that good stuff, playing the normal standard way. And while this drone going to be getting a couple of extra hits on it, not a big deal. It's going to be running around regenerating that hit point loss. Apparently not going to run too far, just going to be getting another hit there. Not a big deal, but it looks like Fuzzy was able to get up his expansion. He does have 4 Zerglings out here. We'll see how he deals with, or yeah, what he does with those. He's probably just going to be scouting with them, sending 2 to the watchtower, sending 2 to the front, and maybe, ooh, okay, this is actually what I'm seeing a lot more from Protoss, like a 1 gate expand. 1 gate expand, like that seems extremely risky. If Zerg timed it out properly, that would not work. That, I'm telling you right now, that does not work. If Zerg decides to attack in there before he even sees that pylon down there, that's not going to work out. Like, for example, if he assumes that you're going for 3 gate expand, he can get up a whole bunch of Zerglings and attack in there. Since it's Shakur's Plateau, that's not very likely, since it's pretty darn easy to defend this small ramp here. But since he's doing a 1 gate expand, it leaves it open again, saying, okay, Zerg can just bust in here and kill me. So, I mean, you really got to be careful with this. It is kind of risky, but again, Zerg players are not usually into doing that kind of attack there, not on this map. So, I mean, I do see why it's a good call. And we'll see when Fuzzy decides to plop down his own expansion, since this Nexus is going up already. Alright, so there's the forge. I believe there's going to be a cannon behind it right there. That did look like a square. Now it looks like a square. It's going to be right there. And, well, there's going to be another pylon on the front here, apparently. So, maybe not a cannon there. We'll find out what he does with this SimCity. It is quite important as Protoss. I think a lot of players don't really emphasize it enough. Like, it is pretty freaking important, you know? Like, you know, oh, I just put my building there instead of there. You know, like, what's the big deal? Oh, it's actually a big deal because you could die. Yeah, because Zergling's gonna bust in there and just kill all your probes when you move out of your base. That's really the big reason. Like, it's not really like, okay, I'm gonna keep my units here with my cannons and whatnot, and I'm gonna be perfectly fine. Yeah, you're gonna be perfectly fine with a bad SimCity that way. But if you move out to attack and Zerg counterattacks you, are you going to survive? That's the big question there with that kind of SimCity. But it looks like he's actually doing a pretty darn cool looking SimCity here. He has like a double wall going on here. If you put down like a building here and like a building here, just for the record, the building here would not make gas less. It wouldn't give you less gas. It would just give you the normal amount, assuming you put 3 guys into the gas in the first place. But yeah, if you have like a double wall going on, then it'd be like you know, kind of like having compartments on the Titanic. Like, you know, if one gets flooded, you're totally gonna be fine, type of thing. So I do like to see that kind of play. I have not seen one like that yet, but it just sounds really innovative. It might just be a total, you know, it could just totally not work at all. So I mean, who knows? It really depends on how you do it, what kind of map it is. You know, when are you pushing out? What kind of buildings you have at that time, and what can you afford to, you know, do in terms of a wall. You know. So, anyways, it looks like Protoss is moving out right now. Just for the record, this is not safe. There's like nothing here. Like, this is not safe at all. A lot of players, including Fuzzy, will gather up a bunch of Zerglings here, have a Zergling here, or, you know, and then see like, okay, this Zergling is dead, and he'll, you know, as he dies, you can still kind of see the enemy army, so that, you know, if he's passing that Zergling, then okay, I can go counterattack, and he's gonna have to run back to defend it. I'm gonna kill off a lot of probes in that time. But alright, so anyways, Fuzzy does not have that counterattack set up, so he's just gonna be adding on a bunch of Zerglings to defend this. But this is actually really kind of frustrating as Zerg, and to see this kind of attack on this map. Trickerous Plateau. Now, it's nice to see Protoss able to do some kind of pressure like this. You know, that's really cool. But the fact that like 2 force fields can block that ramp, that sucks. You know, Protoss could just like kill him right now. Just force a lot of Zerglings, keep putting up force fields there, keep adding on guys, and then Zerg's not going to be able to really get out of here without losing a whole bunch of dudes. So I mean, it's going to send him back quite a bit if he keeps it up, if he does it properly. Looks like he's just retreating back to the watchtowers, so I mean, it looks like Zerg's going to be just fine with all of that. Easy attack move, just going ahead, getting up some extra buildings and all that. Doesn't want to continue to apply that pressure, knowing that he can't really add on a ton of units right now since he's getting up those extra buildings. So the pylon does go down. Looks like easy attack move is not going to be able to add on any more units for now. Actually, yeah, he does have a second pylon, so he is going to be able to. But Zerg has been let down the ramp here, so we'll see what he does with that. Just for the record, I don't know if I like the fact that he's keeping a whole bunch of guys at this watchtower. It feels kind of unsafe. Like, I see a lot of players do that. I just run past them into their base, and it's kill off a whole bunch of probes. So I mean, it's really kind of not safe, especially since he only has 1 cannon here, and it's at the very front of his base. If Zergling's got back here, that cannon is not going to be able to attack any of them. So this is completely unsafe. I don't like to see this kind of play. Alright, so now he's kind of, well, he was retreating. I'm not sure what's going on with that. Apparently he's going to go for it once again. And be possibly killing off some creep tumors. Looks like Fuzzy here not going to be expanding right now. I'm kind of curious to know why. Oh, he's getting, is it? No, that's a abandoned nest. Alright, there is a macro hatch. Alright, so that's good. He did get that up during all that. And well, it looks like Zerg's gonna. That was a lot of wasted force fields, but at the same time, like, that was probably necessary. Oh well, it's gonna be able to get out of there perfectly fine after that. And since there are roaches, and actually it looks like they do have the speed, but the roaches are not going to be able to just counterattack easily, so I mean, you don't have to worry about counterattacks if you see a bunch of roaches. But at the same time, there's a big ass drop in the front or the back of the Protoss base here. Just yeah, not safe at all. Are ya, buddy? And this kind of sucks as Protoss if you're being rather aggressive with your army here. And yeah, it looks like easy tech move just doesn't have enough guys to you know, attack in there. And he's going to be losing a lot of stuff in the back here. So, to be perfectly honest, I feel like a lot of Zerg players actually drone up too much, me included. And that could mainly be because we just get Overlord blocked, and that's pretty much my life story. But if you don't get Overlord blocked and you're able to drone a lot early on, you can just stop droning for a while and just build on a ton of units, do drops like this, and defend it. So I mean, it's really kind of weird. But yeah, both players kind of having a lot of money at the same time. So I wonder how it would go if they just spent their money better. If, you know, maybe Protoss forgot a couple of probes, you know, I wonder how it would have gone differently depending on how these players played like that. You know, I wish I could have just looked at it more often, but you know, alas, I'm casting, not analyzing so much. But whatever, you know, it's all good. So anyways, I'm going to be taking my break now. I have 45 minutes until my next analysis. So you guys should check it out. I'm not sure if you guys that are watching are part of that crew or what, but if you're not, check it out. You know, it's 7:30 Eastern time. I just take replays that people have sent me via email, and then I analyze it, tell them what they did wrong, and all that good stuff. A lot of it's pretty basic, fundamental stuff that I feel like players really need to really start doing and concentrating on, because, I mean, it doesn't matter what race you play, it doesn't matter how you play, you need these fundamentals if you're going to be pretty good at StarCraft. And then, of course, there's a lot of players out there that just don't play a lot, you know, and they practice things, but then, like, they take some time off or, like, a couple days, and it's just like, you know, they forget about it, or they lose it, or whatever. So I mean, that does happen. That happens to me, especially with Overlords. Like, I'll just play like a whole bunch of bad games if I, you know, haven't played for like a day, and then you know, it's pretty bad. So anyways, check it out if you want. I'll be back. But that wraps this casting up of Fuzzy. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And this is Magic signing off. So come back at 7:30 Eastern time.